All right, we're going live right now.
Fantastic. Here we go. Here we go. Hello and welcome to New York Minute, the only game show that's happening right now. As always, we have asked 3 of New York City's top quarantined comedians to compete in a series of silly challenges all for you. And as always, I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Don Chang.
Hello, everybody.
There he is. How are you, Don?
Doing well on this real wet, cruddy New York day.
It's a wet one, but you know what? The city's taking a bath. And that's good.
It's good.
I posted a tweet about this about 20 minutes ago, but when I was growing up, my aunt, who used to watch me a lot, told me many times that when it's raining, that means God is crying. And I don't know why she did that.
I think I heard a similar... I remember me and my friends would say that the angels were pissing on us.
See, that makes more sense for my brand, but now I'm scared that I've done something wrong every time it rains.
Yeah, that would definitely put me in my head. But that also makes sense. It's the Catholic guilt.
Yes.
That works. Yeah. All right. So let's intro our contestants today after talking about Catholic guilt. All right. For first up, we got Tim Platt. Hello, Tim.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
There he is,
doing?
showing his hands, just in case. You never know who could be watching. Stuart might be watching. Beth Melsky might be in the chats.
I actually have very small hands, but they're very skilled. They're very skilled hands. They're highly skilled.
Like a clock. You have a clockworker's hands.
Yes, so it can be a little like
a dexterous little a tinker tools at the ends of your wrist.
Yeah, like a raccoon.
What did you just make, Tim? What was that?
Oh, I opened a clock and took out all the ribbons inside of the clock, and then I turned and I bit off a loose end, and then I gave it was like a little flower pot. It was like the clock was the flower, and the ribbon was shall we say the petals.
That's great. I'm gonna go ahead and just take a point away, kind of before we start.
Sorry, Tim,
you can earn that back. You can earn that back later.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna hold that point hostage. So
okay.
You really...
And that's okay. Fine. Yeah. It's.
Stay on the phone. Stay on the phone. He'll tell you what he wants in exchange.
Tim, do you have anything to promote? Anything going on right now?
Sure. I'm a part of a podcast called Rude Tales of Magic, and you can check that out. And that's a funny dang podcast. Tells a bit of a story too. And you can also check out my Twitter at Timothy Platt and my Instagram at I am King Bozo. But both of those things I'm not having fun with recently.
I will say, folks, that Rude Tales of Magic is so fucking funny. It is incredible.
My girlfriend Jill has been listening to it for the past month, I believe, nonstop. Yeah.
Yo, it is.
That's amazing.
It is great. It's great.
Thanks, guys. Wow, I feel incredible.
Do you? And I know you play you have your character in it, but sometimes you're asked to voice secondary and tertiary characters.
Yeah, so it's like we play D&D, but we all have one character except for the DM, Branson Reese, who does all the other stuff. But we're pretty loosey-goosey with rules, and we'll sometimes jump around to people a scene if we want to, because everyone just wants to play.
Everyone just wants to play. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, it's fun.
And
we'll share that in the comment section when this episode is done. Thank you, Tim. Next up, we've got looks like we got an extra note in here. Chloe Hot Kozer.
Hello.
Chloe Hot Kozer.
Hello.
Wow. Chloe, is hot short for something?
It's what people call me it so much that I figure it must be my nickname.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes
a lot of sense.
Chloe, how are you? How is quarantine treating you?
It is extremely fertile ground for my depression.
Good. Yes. Hey. Yes,
I'd
absolutely.
love to hear that.
I'm doing okay. The behavior I should be doing right now, which is staying inside and not seeing people, is what I do when I'm depressed. So my brain, it keeps on checking into my actions and going, You're miserable.
That's great. I will say, Chloe, towards the beginning of quarantine, you kept me sane with your with some of your Twitch streams.
Yeah.
They are great.
I need to get back to that. I
Yeah.
downloaded a couple games. I actually was going to do it with Dark Souls, but my computer can't run and stream Dark Souls at the same time.
What a shame.
Yeah.
I know. It's heartbreaking.
Chloe, do you have anything you want to promote besides your awesome Twitch stream?
Yeah, well, my Twitch stream is at Clobbering Time, which is Clobbering Time with an H in it. My Twitter
I don't get it.
Chloe.
I don't get it.
It's not for cis people, Donald.
Okay.
Fucking idiot.
It's my Twitter is Chloe Kozer. My Insta is Chloe P Kozer. I'm also not using those because honestly, it feels really weird to just be like spamming a bunch of jokes right now. I'm with Tim on that. Also, I would like to promote Tim's D&D podcast because I was flirting with someone on OKC and they had that podcast from their interests, and I was like, oh, I know that guy. We lived in the same dorm room, but not at the same time.
Yeah, that's amazing.
We lived in the same dorm room at Oberlin, we realized, just during different years.
Wow.
Well,
Didn't it be a good conversation with that person?
The conversation did not go great after that.
And Tim, for that, I'm going to have to take another point away from you. I'm sorry about that.
And
stay by your phone. He's going to give you the demands that he wants for those points back. Well, looks like we had two people who shared the same room at Oberlin. Look, we also have a third person who shared that room at Oberlin. We've got Michael Hernandez.
Oh boy. Man, I love living with people all
Yeah.
over the world. Yeah.
You've always said that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of my catchphrases. Yeah.
that's how we pick the challengers for every episode. We make sure, like, oh, you all lived in the same dorm room at Oberlin. And that's how we stack everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hard club to get into, but yeah.
It's true. Michael, I gave Michael, this feels like years ago now, I gave Michael a marimba a long time ago. Is that you still noodling on that hog?
I never fixed it, but I did take it apart. And I've it's in a different room, but you told me to make chimes out of it, and I made one chime out of it.
Sick.
And I have every intention of making more chimes. I just live in a house of chimes. But yeah.
Eric, I want you to know, I think that just means that Michael broke it.
No.
Sounds like it's broken. It was already broken, to be fair.
Okay. All right.
If you have a wind chime with only one chime, it doesn't make any sound.
A single chime. That's a Tom Waits song, I think.
Yeah, Michael, do you have anything else you want to plug?
Yeah, 3 quick things.
Hell yeah.
Red Saw Whiskey, which is pretty good.
Red Saw whiskey.
Yeah, keep that by your feet. We got computer chips. They make the world go round.
Yum, 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 yum.
Can't live without computer chips.
Yummy.
And I'm about to release a whole buttload of cartoons, when appropriate. But I've gotten this tablet, this drawing tablet, and I've just been doodling a bunch, and all the cartoons are about to come out. And here's a still frame of
Sneak
something
peek.
I'm working on.
Oh, hell yeah. That's Chucky
my
being choked by their father. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just letting you know, watch out, because in maybe a month or two, it's about to get crazy. So, yeah.
Can I say that the Rugrats theme song is absolutely gorgeous. It is one of the prettiest songs I've ever heard. And I know I get it, it's a TV show, but it's really pretty.
It is pretty, and it is the TV show theme song.
That's true.
Wait, what?
It's the same. I think the same guy that did Seinfeld.
Really?
The
Actually
Seinfeld
true,
theme song.
or is this a joke?
No, it's a joke. I'm sorry.
Bad joke. Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm
cool.
sorry.
Let's move on.
Hey, well, maybe he loses the point this time.
Oh, you hear that, Eric? You hear that?
Tim, you're in big trouble, mister. You're fucked because
You're never getting
you
those points
just
back.
made it my job to ruin your experience on this show. No one has ever told me to take a point away. for myself.
So, okay. All right, folks. Let's keep moving. Wow, this feels like my parents are fighting. So let's go to challenge 1. All right. Challenge 1, as usual, we've asked our contestants to present an item that they have in their possession in their home. Today's item we've asked them to share is something that is weirdly small. And that doesn't necessarily mean the smallest item. It just means something that is weirdly small for what it is. So let's begin. We're going to start off with Mr. Points Platt over here. Mr. Points Platt.
Oh, look at that! It's a little blowhorn, and it has other settings too.
Holy shit.
And that one, and that's it.
You know what? That's amazing, actually. What do you have it? What's it for? What's the purpose?
I have no memory of why I have this. I have I do not know. I could not tell you. I certainly didn't buy it. I maybe it was I don't know. I don't know why I have this. But it's pretty cool. I never use it. I keep it in my little corner of special little treasures. You know what I mean?
Your little tchotchkes corner.
Yeah, and I was looking there today to find a little thing, and I was like, that's the thing.
Would you say it? Because a megaphone is supposed to mega your voice. Would you say that megas your voice, or does it just?
I actually would not say that, and that's what's so interesting about it. It does not mega the voice, but it refracts the voice. It distorts the voice, so the volume remains pretty stable of my own personal voice. The timbre of the voice, the sort of tonality of the voice, becomes this hugely different thing that a human being like myself could not create without, don't want to call it amplification, but distortion, without distortion.
It's a distortophone.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. Tim, thank you. That is wonderful. And
No problem. And I'll take a point. I'll take a point back for that.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you, man. I'll take that point back.
No,
Thank you so much.
Eric,
The
please,
points are mine.
Don't do this to him. Don't.
No, he can take away points, so I can take away points, apparently, and so I guess I can take him back, too.
Eric, please, he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand.
Oh, he
I'll
will.
take back a point.
No,
He'll
no,
understand
no.
pretty soon.
Please.
I'll take back a point.
Who's next, Don?
We got Chloe Hot Koser. Chloe, please show us your small thing.
A hot cozer is also a very gross sex act.
I'll
I
look it up.
made an omelet that's smaller than a quarter.
You made that?
Jesus, it's an
Okay,
omelet.
I made it. It is an 8 teaspoon of egg, a extremely small amount. It's a very tiny sofrito of tomato, spinach, and it's a quarter for scale. Sofrito and tomato, and then there's a little bit of chives on top.
There's
That's
chives
amazing.
on top. That is amazing. I've
Yeah,
seen. I was sorry to interrupt, but I was obsessed at the beginning of quarantine with videos of people cooking for hamsters, like full meals.
Oh, yeah, that's where I was like, I wonder if I can do that, and the answer was apparently yes.
Ugh, it's
Is this
beautiful.
your first attempt at making tiny food?
I did a test run last night just as a quick proof of concept to see if I could make a small amount of egg that would fold. And the answer was yeah. And I pushed. I do cook a lot, and I pushed the egg through a sieve after scrambling it to get it even smoother to hopefully make it even tinier.
Oh,
It
that's
is
smart.
completely edible,
Holy shit, Chloe, that is incredible.
which I will
You gonna eat it?
prove. First it needs to be seasoned. So I've got a little bit of pepper and salt there.
A tiny flake.
Take salt.
Oh, come on.
I mean,
Put
this
that
is
on.
maybe the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
A little bit of pepper, and I already had a little bit of breakfast. So I'm not going to eat the entire thing.
Fuck out of here.
Oh my gosh, how is it?
Honestly, what's shocking is I can legitimately taste the onion, tomato, and spinach kind of separately. Like, it actually does have a meaningful flavor profile.
I can't believe that. That's incredible.
Okay.
Look at that little thing. Chloe,
Wow.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. That was
Incredible.
magical.
Yeah, I think a point.
Tim. Oh. Ooh.
Shh, Tim, stop.
Make a point.
Boy.
Tim, stop.
I know. Do we agree? I agree. Chloe, do you agree?
I don't know if put words in his mouth. I will say I think one might be chintzy.
Let's move on to our final contestant.
All right, we have
Before I
Michael Hernandez. Michael, please show us your small thing.
So, like, I think this should be bigger. But like this stupid thing, like I think this should be way bigger than what it is. Like I feel like if you really want it to work and to be resonant, like it should be as big as this room, and it's only as big as my torso, and I think it's ridiculous and impractical.
That is a tiny pipe organ.
That is so funny. So Michael has chosen to go in a different direction here and decided that something that's large should be immense.
It's not big enough.
Okay.
I mean, I love that.
All right, Eric, you've seen everybody's small items. Start handing out some points.
Okay.
If you want to give Tim back some points, nobody's going to think you're weak.
All right. Well,
Nobody's going to think you're weak for that.
does everyone feel that way down the line? Or is that just Don? Does everybody think that
I think weakness is in the eye of the beholder.
what is that?
The way we literally have an alliance, I need you to support me.
That is true. I forgot our secret alliance. I think mercy is a virtue for kings.
Ooh, okay.
You hear that, Eric?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
I heard that I'm a big strong boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, we baby kings.
All right, here we go. Michael, I'm going to give you a single point on this. But the concept, you really opened. There's Sarah. You really opened my eyes up. That I expected us to see little things, but I never would have expected us to decide that big things should be bigger. Thank you for that. I wish I could give points for that, but unfortunately, my hands are tied here. I'm not allowed to. Tim, I'm going to give you 2 points for your Distortophone. I really liked it. I think it was really fun. Just so you know, though, those 2 points bring you to 0 points.
I was going to ask for that clarification.
Yeah.
So you haven't given me a new point. You've just given me back the points you took away from me before we even started, basically.
Yes. So there are 2 points in the point bank still. TBD. Possible other points, but yes, you are at 0 points now with your 2 points.
Okay,
it's good.
and I'm supposed to be happy about this, is what you're saying.
I would be pleased, yeah, if I was you, but I'm not you. Thank God. I'm me.
Okay, let's move on to challenge 2.
Wait, Chloe gets 3
let's go
points.
down to-
Chloe gets 3 points for the wonderful omelet, the beautiful,
thank you.
wonderful omelet. Can you believe that?
That
I
was
can't-
gorgeous and magical.
I
It
can't
turned out
believe it.
exactly a billion times better than I thought it would.
It's beautiful and it tasted good.
Yeah. I kind of wish I could shrink down to the size of like a borrower, and then it would be a normal sized omelet for me. Okay, let's get
Thank you, Cement, dude.
Keep going. All right, so challenge 2. Challenge 2, we've asked each of our contestants to write a wonderful poem. They're going to reach inside. They've written a poem about an object, and they're going to each share their poem, and then Eric is going to try and guess what is the object of the poem's topic.
Yeah, I'm trying to guess what the object is that this poem was about. So you will be judged on probably two criteria here, on the subjective or excuse me, the objective value of the poem to society, and also if you were able to stump me. So there's kind of a crisscross there. The better the poem, if it's a great poem and you didn't stump me, there's still points available.
Yeah.
So
Let's begin. Chloe Hot Kozer, you're up first.
All right, and I can put this in chat if you like. But my poem is, take two zeros that follow a 1, add 3 times 13, thrice that sum, plus 100 score, all times by 24 is twice 90 degrees from some fun.
Could you put that in the chat?
Mm-hmm. Take two zeros that follow a 1,
okay.
add 3 times 13, thrice that sum, plus 100 score, all times by 24 is twice 90 degrees from some fun.
Can we use a calculator?
I would consider that cheating and a tacit admission that this is too difficult to solve.
All right, so what it feels like is this is twice 90 degrees from some fun is telling me that this is perhaps, here's my guess. This is an address to some place that is across the street from some place that's actually cool. Because we're going twice 90 degrees from some fun, we're going to turn around and see the fun. Are these numbers that add to the address of a place that's across the street from someplace neat?
No.
Well, I will say that 1, you stumped me, and 2, you made my brain work, so I appreciate that.
A lot of us would argue that your brain didn't work, Eric, because you got it wrong.
Because that was very wrong.
Yeah.
What was the poem? What's it about?
Well, the sum that you end up with is 58,008. Which, if it's on a calculator,
Damn
and
it!
you
Yeah,
rotate it 90 degrees twice,
it's boobs.
The answer is boobs.
All
the
right.
answer is boobs.
Damn it! Why did I think so? I went for
I'm
some.
an idiot. Your mistake was thinking that there's anything of value of me besides my boobs, which is also like the deeper meaning of the poem.
That was good. This was really good. You set a very high standard, Chloe.
All right, thank you so much, Chloe
Wow.
Hot. Next up, we got Michael Hernandez. Michael, please share your poem.
Okie pokey. So, evil and illicit in the eyes of Uncle Sam, yet loving and a favor for an after-work slam. They hide, indict, and argue over your charm and bliss, depicting you as nothing but lettuce from the abyss.
It's weed.
Tim, did you just answer it?
That's what it seems like.
I don't know, Eric, but I do feel like if Tim got it right, then I believe he gets his points back. He beat you to it, right?
Yeah. No, that's the rules. It's in the book. So I am going to have to give... Is it weed, Michael?
Yeah.
You fuck face.
That was gorgeous.
All right, so Tim, I'm going to give an extra 2 points here. Tim's back up to 2 points. Great. I thought it was weed, too. That would have been cool for me to say. All right.
Sorry, Eric. You were gonna guess another address, weren't you?
Yeah. I was gonna learn from my mistakes and guess that it was a pair of tits. But wrong.
Although that would have been because it's just plural. It's 2 or more tits.
It's a pair.
It could have been 3, 17.
Could have been 8. Could have been 58,008.
17 disparate tits.
17 disparate tits. Can you believe that's also a Tom Waits song? Crazy.
Today's episode brought to you by Tom Waits.
Yeah.
Great.
And
Let's
St. Louis.
let's hear Tim's poem.
Okay. So, I have only one. I use it most days, though quarantine's loosened my this using ways. An office essential, but strange at the gym, and stranger if seen when enjoying a swim. At meals, I admit that there's been times that I touch it, when gluttony outspends my hunger's tight budget. Although most are humble, I've seen some ornate, and those tend to be in the Texas-like states. So what do you think? Of what do I speak? Or like Washingtonians, do you require a leak?
All right, Eric. Take your time. Let's hear those guesses.
It's not at a gym, and it's not when you swim. I'm going to feel like that's not even part of this.
There's many clues in here.
There are many clues in here. It's in a Texas-like state. Sometimes it's ornate.
It's only ornate, and often only seen as ornate in those Texas-like states.
I think I know what it is.
Chloe, you think you know what it is?
Yeah.
I want to hear Eric's guess first, and then I want to hear Chloe's.
During
'Cause I don't want
quarantine,
Eric
you only
cheating
use
here.
it once? Can you
I
give me
only
the...
have one.
You only have one? Can you give me
I
the...
use it most days. I sent you the. It's in the chat. You should read it. It's very well written.
I only
We're
have
going to
one.
share these poems.
An office essential. At meals, you touch it? You
I know
touch...
what it is. I 100% know what it is.
Chloe,
Yeah.
what is it? What is it, Chloe?
It is a belt.
It's a belt.
What? Quarantine loosens
Read
my
it again, and it'll all make sense in a really pleasurable way. I
Yeah.
only have one. I use it most days. Though quarantine's loosened, that's a word that you should pay attention to, loosened my belt using ways.
An
An
office
office
essential because you choke yourself with a belt.
No, because I always wear a belt at the office. But strange at the gym.
I don't know if it is strange at the gym.
What about the
though,
frickin' a
because
power belt, a workout belt?
power belts?
Okay, well, given that caveat, these other things would have helped you.
I think that ruins the entire poem, and
No, it doesn't.
4 points.
You don't. You've betrayed me. You've betrayed me every single time.
I mean, this is a very good poem. This is a great poem.
And like Washingtonians, which you would know as the Beltway, you see?
I didn't get that.
But yeah, and
Yeah.
what's the do you require a leak?
Like Washingtonians, because in DC, there's all these leaks, right? But also, what do we call the people in DC? We call them the people who live on the Beltway, right?
Oh, see, I got fucked up because I heard leeks, and in my head I thought it was LEEKS, and I thought this was a food because you said sometimes at dinner you're all over
No.
this.
At meals, I'll admit there's been times that I touch it, you're unopening the belt, when my gluttony outspends my hunger's tight budget. My hunger has already been spent, but there's still something in front of me, so my gluttony takes over.
I'm embarrassed.
Yes.
I'm so glad Chloe helped me out of this hole because straight up I was gonna say garlic bread.
Garlic bread?
Yep,
An office essential?
I was pretty
No,
sure it
read
was
the poem
garlic
again.
bread.
I'm happy to read the poem again.
I was positive
I
it
only
was
have
garlic
one.
bread.
I use
All
it
right,
most
we're
days.
good. We're good.
The quarantine's loosened by this using ways. An office essential. Though strange
Or
to the gym.
Tim becomes a little goblin and tries to steal your firstborn.
I'm a stranger. It seems.
All right.
Eric, give out some points and tell us what you think.
All right. See, these were all good, and they all, well, 2 of them stumped me. Michael's didn't stump me, but I was not given the opportunity to be unstumped.
Let's be fair. You were stumped, though. You were stumped.
To be fair, I was.
No one solved mine.
That's true. That's true. That's very true. This is tough. I appreciated Tim's just. It just fired on a lot of cylinders that I really, really liked.
I have only one. I use it most days.
Ooh, boy, you are. It's like you don't want the points.
I want
I
the
think you're
point.
bragging that you only have one belt.
I only have one belt.
I'm gonna
Maybe
give
now some
Tim.
more belts.
I'm
I
gonna
have
give
one.
Tim 3 points on this, because it was a good poem, and it ultra stumped me. I thought it was garlic bread, and boy,
Stop saying that. It's just
I
making
was positive it was garlic bread. I'm gonna go back through and I'm gonna prove how it's garlic bread.
Because of Texas toast?
Yeah, that's literally it.
No, like big belt buckles, like cowboy big belt buckles.
Mm-hmm.
Although most are humble, I've seen some ornate. And those tend to be in the Texas-like states. I almost thought about saying the cowboyish states, but I thought that would have been too much.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like the other two poems a lot, and so I can't. It's hard for me to give a single point out for this because this was art down the line. So I'm going to give 2 points to both Michael and Chloe on this one, which means I have taken 1 point from the point bank. So there is still 1 point in the point. Wait, no, I already gave the point bank to
You already
him,
get
right?
points back.
Cool. So I'm in the hole for a point. That's fine. I'll deal with it. So
Okay,
3-2-2. 3-2-2. That's what we're looking at.
Okay, just
Bonus
next week
points for being only unsolved puzzle.
I'm sorry, Chloe. I'm sorry, Chloe.
I saw Tim pulling out pen and paper, so I don't know if he was close.
Just
Anyways,
solving Chloe's.
speaking of calculations, I just calculated the points right now going into round 3, and they are as follows. We have Michael with 3 points.
Okay, that's pretty good.
And looks like we have a tie between Tim and Chloe at 5 points.
Wow.
The Alliance.
Very close game. It's anybody's game, as most shows. So, challenge 3.
Okay.
Challenge 3 is complete surprise. We've not told our challengers what they are about to face. So, and as usual, the past few weeks, Challenge 3 has always been kind of helping Eric and I.
Yeah.
So, Eric, tell them how they're going to help us this week.
This is a pretty open-ended one, folks. So I'm really excited to see, where the brains go. We have tasked you with this. You'll each have 1 minute to improve our lives. You will have 1 minute to come up with a plan or to physically move us around our apartment in a way that it improves our lives. It could be in a meaningful way. It can be in a small, little way, There's really no wrong answers here except when I start to give out points, and then I'll decide that there are probably a lot of wrong answers.
Yes.
But yeah, you will each be tasked with improving our lives.
All right. So, let's begin. Michael, you're going to be first.
All right. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
If you see somebody that you don't like, maybe think about all the things that they might have gone through, like an abusive dad or a really bad day at work. Oh man, yeah. Everybody's so different, huh? Come on, people. Let's just, take a chill pill for a second and, pass some good laws. And maybe get off of all the poo-poo and caca. Because, we're all just trying our best.
Tim, I got pretty upset about the points earlier. I felt that there was a type of infringement on my position as the head boss boy of this show. And
Wait, are you looking at me the way he told you to look at jerks in the street?
okay, never mind. You know what? Never mind.
Right now?
Never mind.
As if I'm the asshole here?
Okay, forget it.
I need to be sympathized with rather than just listened to?
Forget it.
No. The only way you can think about being nice to me is to think that I might have gone through some bad stuff in the past. Yeah, I've gone through some bad stuff. You take away my points before the game even began, buddy. Jesus Christ. Your life's not better, it's worse. The games we play to win, eh?
Well, we love to hear that. Right as you are up next, Tim, to help improve our lives.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone, come on. What do you need in your life? What has been keeping you down? I know the answer. It's too much. Oh, that's not mine. It is not enough. Hey, have you seen The Color Blue recently? Have you thought about looking outside and looking at the color blue? It's really hard because all the rain's coming down, but look at this. There's blue right in front of you. What? That's not blue. That's just a little pen. Well, friends. What happens right here when I... Look! You have seen the color blue today. Now, isn't this strange? That a simple color can reinvigorate one's spirits, one's emotional life. And as we all know, one's emotional life is one's physical life. I would love to take this again, and I will give you the opportunity.
That is time.
I will give you the opportunity
That was 1 minute.
to give someone a chance to redo a mistake. Now, isn't that going to feel good?
Right. So Tim's time ran out 10 seconds ago, so you can't really consider whatever happened the last 10
Look
seconds.
at this.
None of this is allowed to be part of your consideration, Eric.
I like it though. I like him hitting himself. But yeah, I'm sorry, it doesn't count as part of my points. Thank you, Tim.
All right. And Chloe, hot poker. You're up next.
Okay, I'm going to give you a choose your own adventure for this. Do you want to know how to change your life with egg cooking tips, or how to make the best steak of your life?
Wow. Don? Which one do you want?
Steak.
Okay, and I want eggs, so you have 1 minute to do both.
Boom. Eggs, we're going to do a frittata recipe, really simple. This is one I found out about and I got mad because it was so good and so easy. You're going to peel a couple red or Yukon Gold potatoes, cut it in half, cut it into slivers, and basically you're poaching that in olive oil with some sliced onions. After those get good and soft, you salt them well. You pour in about 6 to 8 eggs with maybe a quarter cup of heavy cream or half and half. Scramble it as it's cooking, and then stop when it starts to get solid. Then you're going to wait till it gets a crust on the bottom, put a plate over the pan, flip it, invert it, slide it in, and in a few minutes you're going to have a perfect frittata or Spanish tortilla. That one's worth looking up. It's phenomenal. Best steak of your life. Dry-aged reverse sear steak. You're going to want a steak with a decent fat content, like New York strip or ribeye. You're going to put it uncovered in your fridge on a cooling rack, salted heavily on both sides. You can leave it there for 24 hours. The next day, this 2-inch thick steak, you're going to put in the oven until it registers about 10 degrees below where it's done. Then you pull it out, sear it on both sides very quickly with some butter and vegetable oil. Because it's been dried out in the oven and dried out overnight, it forms an incredive crust from the Maillard reaction that cannot be achieved through any method of cooking.
Okay, I want you to know we ran out of time after the egg recipe, but I needed to know the steak recipe.
Wow. Okay.
So this is interesting. We'd like to do a sort of stack, I guess, like we do on stack here, sort of because I was cut off from doing this.
Now, was there any difference between ours? Could it be that mine had a goal in it, and yours was maybe showing off a color that's already visible in most of our video feeds?
Now I noticed that you're choosing not to say the color. It's blue, a very special color. And so by trying to elide over that fact that I was talking about a very special color blue, I'm just like...
On your elephant, I believe Michael's got, I think... Is that navy? Is that navy striped or black and white striped?
We're talking navy.
Navy. My eyes are blue. I think Eric's eyes are blue.
And had any of you chosen to use your minute to present that fact, I would be bowing to you. I would be bowing, but none of you did. None of you did. So strange.
What's the mouthfeel of the color?
Unfortunately, Eric is the one that's going to be stepping in and handing out those valuable, juicy points, perfectly cooked points. So, Eric, please jump on in and fry up some of those perfectly cooked points and hand them out to us.
I don't appreciate a lot of the infighting in this show. The last 2 minutes of my life were not improved at all. In fact, I watched two people that formed an alliance turn in and fight each other in a way that was gross.
For your amusement.
Well, I want this to be a place of positivity. I wanted this to be happy. I wanted this to be nice.
This is probably the most negative episode we've ever had.
This is the most negative episode we've ever had.
I think this is nothing against you, Michael. I feel you're the chillest. These other two really brought that. Whoa! Also, this is the tallest spoon I've ever seen.
Well, it's really interesting that when a woman raises her voice, when Eric and Tim have been arguing, but the second a woman raises her voice, that's when it becomes. You don't judge a man by how he treats a woman who treats him well. You judge him the second a woman becomes a roadblock in any capacity for him.
I actually totally agree with that, and I think the fact that you would sort of use your issues, clearly, Eric, to like try to take down this whole group is really offensive, and I think we would all love it if I had another minute to sort of try to do something else. It's sort of, Chloe, if I can speak for you for a moment, which I
prefer when men speak for me.
okay. See, and I assumed they wanted to check in. Which is
All right, here's what's
very
up.
valuable.
Here's
Eric,
what's
you brought
up.
them together. You brought them together. They there was a schism, and then they came back together against you. So, there was a little positivity at the end there.
Michael gets 3 points. Chloe and Tim each get 1 point.
Does that mean everyone's equal? Does that mean that it's tied all around?
Based off of the calculations, everybody is tied.
This is a cowardly game. A cowardly game.
Yeah, well, guess what? There's a bonus. We
There's a
have to have a
bonus.
tiebreaker.
I take it back. I take it all back. I take it all back.
This is going to be a quick one, folks.
Mhm.
Here's our tiebreaker. We do this, I think this is kind of our normal tiebreaker now. You'll each have 30 seconds to search your apartment and find an object to use in a game of rock, paper, scissors. So when you bring your object back, you will be up against the other 2 objects that the other 2 contestants have brought. And whichever object can be, you can clearly state would defeat the other 2 objects in the field of combat wins.
Okay.
So you don't know what the other 2 people are going to bring. That's what's tough.
Matter.
Yeah, we get
Doesn't
it.
matter. All right, you got 30 seconds. Go!
Because now,
This was a very negative episode.
yeah.
There's a lot of
Did you
hate.
plan to make everybody tie at the end?
No. I just really liked Michael's song.
No, I'm not arguing against the song.
What am I thinking?
I personally think that Limerick and the omelet were out of control. Those are the highlights of the episode.
They were huge.
They-
I think what really made this episode work.
That is time. Time. Sorry, Tim. Yeah, we just didn't have enough time to hear what you were about to say. All right, and Michael's back.
All right, on the count of 3, on shoot, you will present your object. Are we ready, everybody? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! We have a tennis racket. We have the longest spoon in the world.
Whoa!
And we have a beautiful, is that a real bouquet?
It is a bouquet that is made out of paper.
A paper bouquet. Wonderful. So does anybody want to start? Why would yours
I've
win?
heard of Phoebe Buffet, but paper bouquet.
I mean, that's pretty good.
I got one laugh.
Michael, why do you think your tennis racket would win? I can't hear you. Can't hear you, dude.
Can't
Well,
hear you.
it immediately challenges the person to a different sport than what we're about to play, which is rock, paper, scissors. So it's very confusing, and yeah, that's my move.
Okay, Chloe. Chloe, why would the paper bouquet win?
Well, for a lot of reasons. This is symbolic of love. It was a gift from my mother to me and my wife. I believe my first birthday after I came out, and my wife and my relationship was upgraded to queer. My wife's middle name is Rose, and to me, whenever I see this is emblematic of getting to live the life that you wanted to live, a queer life, and one being celebrated by a very good mom.
Oh, that's great. And Tim, why would your spoon destroy that bouquet?
Why would it destroy my trans queer love, Tim?
Yeah, so like I'm gonna look, friends. This is a long spoon, all right. So everything you guys are talking about, that's great. We're talking about games, we're talking about love, all that stuff. But there's something very simple that's happening over here that we all gotta eat. We all got to eat. And what is the hardest part about eating when the food is a little too far away? Oh, I love my soup. Wait a minute. Can I have some of your soup? You're done, but like, oh, I can just go, look at that, oh my god, will your soup come back? Ooh, thank you so much. So look, I love what you guys are doing. I think everything what you're all saying is very great, but like I'm talking about practical brass bolts here. We all gotta eat. And without a spoon, and without a long one, which I've explained.
With full extension, you would spill every drop of liquid out of the spoon.
You can't even feed
And
yourself with that spoon. You'd have to feed
And this
someone
is
else.
interesting. Someone who is chiding me for my practicality made not even a bite's worth of an omelet, and is not telling me about the practicality.
More than a bite's
Before
worth.
this episode falls apart, before we destroy each other, give out some points and don't be cowardly this time. Let's have a fucking winner.
Thanks, man.
Just announce the winner. All right. God, this is hard.
Oh.
I'm gonna say. This is off the dome. Okay, this is it. This is my gut. This is my gut feeling here. My gut feeling is that quietly throughout the course of this show, Michael just, he just played the game.
Cowardly.
He just played the game. He didn't.
Cowardly.
He didn't make a big stink about it. He just played the fucking
Had a
game.
balloon that got gas and a small object that was large.
Yeah, broke the rules.
I guess
Broke
that
the
was
rules
fine
left and right.
Following the prompts.
Technically, the rules were it didn't have to be small. It just needed to be weirdly small for what it was. And Michael did argue that it should have been bigger,
You'd argue that.
room sized.
Mike is currently even muted. By being a non-entity, he's apparently better than a trans woman's best loving efforts.
Yeah. Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my
They're back
god!
together as a team, though, which I
Well,
like.
I bore myself personally. I made food art. I made a delicious math puzzle, which was the only one that was unsolved. But yeah, let's give it to Michael for muting his mic.
Yeah. And in that same vein, I've been incredibly playful this whole time.
Tim has been a delight. He's been
Michael,
the best goblin
here
warlock.
you go. Let's award you the New York Minute timepiece.
I've never felt worse after a show.
Never made a worse decision. Or
Yes.
We've been trying to teach you to do
I think your heart
As
would
your
really
winner.
give out if you made a decision worse than the one you just made. So we know that this is the worst decision.
Everybody, look at Michael and tell him why he doesn't deserve to win. Okay? He's still here listening to this.
Michael, I don't think you deserve to win because a notable white cis straight man, Eric Fuhrer, wants to pit us against each other. That's what
It is
that's
true.
What
It is.
argue to be about your failings, as opposed to an unjust system created by one Eric the Coward King Fuhrer.
It is
Yeah,
true
and
that
you know what, Michael,
not only am I white, cis, and straight, but I'm notably white, cis, and straight. As Chloe says.
Notably.
And I really appreciate Chloe talking about the systemic aspect of this. I'm going to piggyback off that and talk about the personal aspect about what you've done in particular, Michael. Because you also fucked up big time in a bunch of ways that you have to account for now.
Michael was delightful.
I'm going to step in and just say, so Michael, if you're able and allowed, you are entered into the Tournament of Champions. You'll be coming back for the Tournament of Champions. And honestly, I think this works out. Chloe and Tim, you are entered into our Tournament of Losers. We're going to bring you back, and you're going to be head-to-head again, and you're going to go against all the other contestants we've had on the show. And we'll be announcing that very soon.
Yeah, it's,
I look forward to being on this cesspool of trans hate.
Yeah, and Michael, I'm going to take back what I said before about making it personal because I learned that there was actually something cool that happened to me too. So, we're all good. You did a great job. I love the accordion thing. The song was great.
I am ending this stream right now.
Everybody,